Amnesty, a solution or the final nails in the coffin of America. Let us for a moment set aside the divisive politics and the sanctimonious face of piety on both sides of the issue who insist this is a complex problem. It is not if you apply simple common sense and reason and raise the discussion to one of principle, not policy. And what is the basic principle of our nation that underlies this issue? We are either a nation of laws or we are not. Simple. The inmates of the asylum on the Hill, your non-representing representatives in Congress, you know them, the ones who never listen to the will of the majority because they know better than you, are once again attempting to disguise sheer madness as an obligatory act of humanitarianism and fairness. It is neither. Amnesty for 20 million illegal aliens is a universal statement to every country in the world from the people of the United States. Overcome us with numbers, and our pandering politicians will see you as future voters to cement their power base, turn their back, refuse to do what our Constitution demands, secure our borders, refuse to pass a national employee identification program, and present the perpetrators as the victims and the American taxpayer forced to pay $1.5 trillion for an already bankrupted Treasury to support this denial of reason and common sense sheer madness. Your presidents, your activist judges, and your reading-impaired Congress created the problem in the first place by refusing to do what we, the people, demanded they do, enforce our rule of law. Instead, they declared the lawbreakers were victims and needed to be protected by taxpayers' money. Now they're telling you to correct their dereliction of duty, their dishonesty, their lack of common sense by supporting amnesty, and America will be whole again. Isn't it time now to do the obvious? Stop putting your faith in them. Them insist on politicizing an issue that can only be decided on one single principle. We are either a nation of laws or we are not. Them have their own self-interested agenda, and it has nothing to do with our national integrity. Them will now call you mean-spirited, anti-immigrant, and hate-monger if you don't support the illogic of amnesty. Don't be deterred from the truth. It was them that called 1 million illegal aliens marching in your streets under a foreign flag a civil rights protest. The same them who called 1 million legal citizens at national tea parties protesting taxation without representation a bunch of right-wing extremists. If you continue to surrender your responsibility to safeguard our democracy to them, you will have no country to run. Them told you it's not our fault. Millions are crossing the border and breaking our laws. It's all the fault of unscrupulous employers looking for cheap labor to undermine the American workers. So we must have a national electronic verifying system, which will force the illegals to leave the country. So them proposed it, and then one of them, who called illegals patriotic Americans, refused to allow it to come to a vote. If that isn't a classic example of a government gone mad, then illegal aliens are undocumented workers, and bank robbers are freelance venture capitalists. I am not a religious man, but I do believe in a power higher than myself. Dear God, help America wallowing in the death throes of political correctness with cowards and traitors in high political office, surrendering our nation's strength and sovereignty to the self-destructive insanity of a global utopia, a government leadership more concerned about what the world thinks of us than standing up for our principles of independence, self-reliance, and our rule of law. America has lost her way. Dear God, help our citizens to take back their country. Help America choose the harder right of becoming activists for the restoration of common sense, rather than the easier wrong of letting them decide the future of our country. Help the citizen to stand up and speak in one loud, united voice. No to amnesty. Yes to our rule of law. Let our citizens not betray the history of our country and the millions of immigrants who sacrificed everything to come here legally and become law-abiding citizens, asking for nothing they did not earn. You'll be told by your national leader you must show compassion. The greatest compassion you can show 20 million illegal aliens is to teach them respect for the rule of law. Teach them multiculturalism does not mean you come to our shores and reestablish your country, your language, your demands for rights you never earn, for welfare you don't deserve. It means, yes, be proud of your country of origin. Yes, be proud of your culture and language, but not at the expense of not learning English, which unites us as a nation. Understand all the gifts of freedom and opportunity you now have come by pledging allegiance to the United States of America. One nation, indivisible, under God, with liberty and justice, justice for all. Comprehensive immigration reform is comprehensive self-destruction. if it doesn't punish lawbreakers and demand respect for our rule of law. And that means go back to your country, and if you want to come back to ours, it'll be hard, yes, but doing it the right way always is. My name is Thomas Paine. Don't be afraid, America, to fight for what's right. Join the Second American Revolution to restore common sense and reason in our nation. God bless America.